What's up, my beauties, my friends? My name's Christina Randall, and welcome to my channel. Okay, anyway, sorry, I've been binge watching her channel. So, as you guys can see, I feel like you can tell that I'm gaining weight, or I feel like I'm gaining weight. I'm fixing to start my period, and I feel so bloated. Okay, what we're going to do is do like something really quick because I have to go pick up my little boy from school. But I just want to put some makeup on so I look like a human being. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do really quickly. Make myself look human again. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. I just posted my first video about ADHD and my experience with having ADHD paralysis, which I'm learning so much about from TikTok, and I've been researching it. You guys, I never, ever would have even looked into ADHD. What's up, baby? If I hadn't been on TikTok. Like, I never would have looked into it because I always thought that having ADHD meant that you, like, acted out as a kid and stuff like that. And I didn't have any problems when I was younger. When I was young, well, no, you know what? I did have problems in school when I was younger, but I was such an overachiever that I was able to, like, I was able to manage my symptoms without needing medication. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I would have never in a million years looked into having ADHD because of that until I started watching people here on TikTok and, learning from them. Well, then I talked to Dr. B and he said, I've watched you for the last, 3 years. And he was like, I would definitely get tested for it, because, he watches me on YouTube, like in my element when I'm talking and stuff. And, a lot of people have commented that to me over the years. Like, girl, you might have ADHD. Girl, you have like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, I don't have that. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You know what I mean? I don't have that. Not that it's a bad thing, but I just didn't understand it. Hey, girl, what's up, Heather? I didn't understand. Do you want to send me your before and after pictures, and I'll post a video for you today. I saw that you're celebrating, I think, 400 days sober. Just so you guys know, I do that for people that are in the recovery community. If they're celebrating sober time and they want like a shout out, they want their video posted on my account, I will do that for you. And don't worry, you ain't got to pay me. Because some people make you pay for that, shout outs. But anyway, I would have never, totally off topic. I would have never even looked into it if I hadn't been on TikTok and heard so many people talking about it and so many adults discussing adult ADHD. So, that's the deal. And then I took a ADHD test, like this assessment thing. And at 100%, the test said yes. All signs point to yes. You got to send them to me on my Instagram or my Facebook Messenger. Instagram is Discovering Nicole 77, and Facebook is Nikki Pludre. Nikki Pludre. So anyway, I'm really excited about conquering things, you guys. Like, so for instance, here's an example of ADHD in me, okay? So I live in a very cluttered home, okay? It's not dirty. It's just cluttered because when my mother and father-in-law moved out, they left a lot of their stuff behind. 30 years of stuff. Children's books underneath the beds, massage machines that, do your neck and your back, that go on the back of the seat, just all kinds of stuff. I could open up this damn closet over here and y'all would see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Just stuff. And we're living in this house now, so those are our closets, right? So I want you to imagine, being me and needing to like clean out my son's closet, or clean out the office, or it's just like overwhelming to the point where I sit there and I hyper focus on it all day long. All day long, I will be like frozen, okay? Trying to think of ways that I'm going to get it done the fastest, ways that I can, do it. It's not until I get up and I start doing it, then guess what happens? I cannot start in the afternoon, because if I start in the afternoon, I will go into the nighttime and I will not sleep. So I have to start early in the morning and just do the shit, because I won't stop until it's completely finished. That's one of the reasons why I've done so well on social media, is because I will not, I get super duper, like I said, hyper focused on my shit. And so I always post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, every day. I don't forget, and if I do take one day, it's literally from one platform. I'm always posting on at least, 7 other platforms in that day. So I didn't know that there was anything. I'm not saying there's something wrong with me, but I didn't realize that any of these things could be signs of having ADHD, right? So, and that's not the only thing. That's just one of the things. My constant need to fidget with something. I'm always either shaking my leg or playing with my hair. And a lot of you guys who come to my live streams that are pretty long, or my videos on YouTube, you'll see that. You'll see me constantly playing with and flipping my hair. And I thought it was just like a way that I self-soothed. But now I don't even know what it is, because some part of me has to be moving at all times. When I'm in the bed, I shake my legs, and it drives my husband insane, dude. Insane. Oh, thanks, Heather. I was just telling everybody I feel like I'm gaining weight back because I just feel really bloated because I'm fixing to start my period, So I feel really, really bloated. And my face, dude, I just want my face to get skinnier. It's driving me insane, dude. It's really hard for me, guys, because it's I have to starve myself almost, it feels like, because my fucking stomach, dude, it's feels like it's never going to go down. Okay. My favorite bronzer is this damn Tawny bronzer by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have to buy a new one, y'all, because I've almost gotten through this whole one. It's got a big ass hole in the pan. It's almost completely gone. The problem is when I go to the doctor, my family doctor, and I try to get help, right? He will not help me. Even his nurse was yeah, you seem like you have ADHD or ADD. I'm not sure which one she said, but she said one of them. And I was well, I know that you guys don't want to give me a stimulant, but can you please help me with a different kind of medication? And that's when they were well, no, we're just going to give you Wellbutrin. And I was what? Okay, I'm already on Wellbutrin, and that hasn't helped me at all, So then I signed up for this online telehealth doctor, a therapist, and they diagnosed me, and, we're getting ready to call my prescriptions in. She was going to try me on that Strattera first, but then guess what happened? They can't prescribe to people in Arkansas. And I'm what? So it's I just keep on running into dead ends, Now I did get a referral to a psychiatrist, and I've got to call and make an appointment, but we just changed insurances because my husband just got, he just got promoted at his job. So he was a rural carrier where he was a rural carrier fill-in, And now he's not a fill-in. Like, now he is a permanent person, a permanent carrier, you know? Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Kelly, the Strattera. The Strattera. But the people couldn't prescribe it to me because they couldn't prescribe in Arkansas. So now I got to find another person to see me for it, I guess. But yeah, that's what I was trying to get on, was the non-stimulant one. And if that worked, I would totally take it. You know, it's not so much, honestly, that's why I did meth for so long, because the way stimulants work on my body, it actually helps me. And meth doesn't help me. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted, honey. Okay? But what I'm saying is stimulants help me perform and feel like I can get my shit done. You know what I mean? But I know meth don't help me. I'm not delusional, y'all. I'm not delusional. Well, it's because the provider couldn't prescribe it to me. Now, I don't know why my doctor wouldn't. He was dead set on prescribing me, just taking me up on my Wellbutrin. And I was like, dude, I've already went up on Wellbutrin. I'm on fucking 3 pills a day, 300 milligrams or 350 or something like that. Almost the max dose, I think, you know? And here's the thing. It would be different, you guys, like, you know, and I'm not even, it wouldn't be different. It would be different if I was, you know, 2 months sober, just got off methamphetamine and just got sober. But I've been sober for fucking 7 years, dude. Like, you know? And even then, even if I had just gotten off of it, like, doctors need to learn not to discriminate against people who struggle with mental illness and what's it called? Oh, I can't remember. Mental illness and addiction, okay? Hey, Alan, what's up? So, oh, it's through Amazon, not the post office, but he could get on at the post office. That's an idea. He could get on. My dad used to be a postmaster, so we got a lot of connections in the post office here in Arkansas. My dad worked for the post office for like 40 years or some shit like that. A long time. And the way he got into it was, he got into it because he was in the military. So when you are in the military, the post office takes the time that you were in the military and adds it to your time with them. So it's like it adds up more. So like if you've been in the military for 10 years and you worked for the post office for 10 years, they count it as working for them for 20 years. Because they count your time in the military. Yeah, there is a, it is very nice. That's how my dad has been able to retire. He's been doing really, really, really good. Now, my husband, y'all may not know this, but my husband is really smart. Like, he's got a master's degree, and, he's never been in trouble with the law or anything like that. So he's really, really smart. He's a lot smarter than I am. That's why my son is so smart, because his daddy's brains. He's got his daddy's brains and his mama's street smart. Because I was an A, B student, maybe some C's. But what happened to me was throughout high school, I got on drugs. And so I stopped paying attention. And I stopped learning, and I just started, trying to get by. So I didn't really go my full potential, that I could have went. If I had really put in my all to school, I could have done so much, y'all. So much. I really am. I think about it, and I get disappointed in myself, because I really missed out on a lot of great stuff. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's over and done with, and now I help people that struggle with addiction. So today was a pretty awesome day, y'all. Hey, Cassandra, text me, girl. I hadn't heard from you. Today was a pretty good day. I had put up a video about medication-assisted treatment for alcoholism on my Facebook Reels. And one of the things that I do over on Facebook Reels is I put my cell phone number in the comment section, and I let people know that they can text me if they have any questions or they want help finding treatment. So I had put up this video about alcoholism and naltrexone, and this guy reached out to me. He texted me and he's like, "Hey, Nicole, I've been drinking for 30 years and I was wondering if you could help me find a place where I could get that medicine you were talking about." And I was like, "Naltrexone?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, man, I got you covered. Where do you live?" And he was like, "Boulder, Colorado," or something like that, somewhere in Colorado. And so I went online and I found him a place that does naltrexone treatment for alcoholism. And I also found him an addiction specialist there that, you know, he could go to like as a therapist, because he told me like specifically he wanted to do therapy. And so I found him a guy who does therapy in his area. So hell yeah, dude. Like, that makes me so happy that people are seeing my reels. And that dude's been on alcohol for 30 years and had no idea that he could get on naltrexone and it could help him with his alcohol cravings. That's fucking amazing, dude. There's a lot of people out there who need the information that I provide. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how much beneficial it could be. And, you know, a lot of people try to give me a hard time on Facebook and shit, but whether you like it or not, like, I'm helping people. You know, I'm making a difference in a lot of people's lives. And it's been crazy over on Facebook. So I woke up yesterday morning and it was like 50 shares. People were sharing my reels everywhere. And I was like, this is different, because usually I don't have that many shares on my reels. So I went to snooping around and looking at what videos they shared. And every person that shares my video, I go and I click on theirs and I comment, "Thank you for sharing," so they know that I've seen that they shared it, right? Well, this morning I woke up and there was so many. I had to go through and comment on every single one and let the person know that I've seen it and thank you for sharing, you know? Well, I made a post and I was like, "Hot diggity dog, y'all did it again. I woke up this morning and y'all are sharing the fuck out of my reels. Like, what the fuck? What is up?" You know? And they're like, "We love your reels, Nicole. Thank you so much." And I literally was like about to cry. Like, I was getting emotional. Y'all know how emotional I get. And I was getting emotional because, like I said, it just makes me so happy, because I work really hard to try to learn stuff so I can help other people. And sure, I might not be a therapist or a counselor, you know, but I learn, you know, the stuff I need to learn so I can help people. And I feel like I'm actually making a difference, dude. And then yesterday, I went live on Facebook. I've been going live on Facebook a lot, you guys, because I almost have 40,000 followers on Facebook. I can't believe it. I never thought that would ever happen on Facebook. So I've been going live over there. And last night, I went live, and there was a girl in the comment section who was like, "I'm really struggling with my methadone taper." And you know me, I'm a pro when it comes to talking about tapering. Like, I've learned a lot over the last couple of years. And I was like, "What are you struggling with?" And she told me that she went down from 127 milligrams or something like that. And now she's at only 27 milligrams. I was like, "Well, don't sound like you're struggling to me, bitch. That's really fucking good, you know?" But she was like, she feels it now. And so I told her, I was like, "Why don't you go to your clinic and let your counselor know that you're starting to feel the effects of your taper, and ask her if you can pause your taper?" You know, she also told me that they were blind tapering her, but they switched her from blind tapering her to where she knows now. And I said that also could have a huge impact on your psyche, right? Like your psychological effect. So if you go from blind tapering, where you don't know how many milligrams are being taken away, to suddenly knowing how much is being taken away, like, then your mind has time to go, oh shit, they're taking away 2 milligrams today. I'm freaking the fuck out. What am I going to do? Right? And so I was like, tell them to put you back on the blind taper and ask them if you can pause your taper for like a month. You know, in fact, don't even say a month. Just say, can I pause my taper? Because it might take you 2 months to where you feel better again, you know? Just have them pause your taper. And so, anyway, I spent a lot of time, you know, talking to her on the live stream and letting her know that we would be there to support her, and that, you know, I have a lot of people that are on methadone that watch my videos and that support me. So she'll have a lot of people that will, you know, follow her journey. And she came over to my YouTube channel and commented and was like, I found you. And I was like, hell yeah. She followed me over to YouTube, which always makes me happy, because that's, you know, what I want people to do is come to my YouTube channel, because I've been posting like regular videos over there. So I posted a video about what is Sublocade, and then I posted a video about what to do to get your children back from CPS. Okay, so I talked about like if you're at home one day and CPS comes knocking on your door. And then I talked about what happens if you already have them in care and you would need to get them back. I talked about, you know, what you need to do then. And I hope that video does good. I hope it makes a difference for some people, because I probably need to make a video about what happens if your children get removed by CPS. Like, what are the steps that CPS takes, and what are the steps that you need to take? That should be my next video, I think. And then I'm going to make videos about methadone withdrawal, methamphetamine withdrawal, opiate withdrawal, Suboxone withdrawal, Xanax withdrawal, because I have experience with all those, okay? And so I'm going to make videos about each one of those withdrawals, and they're all like 10-minute videos, so they're super quick, so you don't like have to waste your time, because I know some people don't like long videos. And so usually what they do is I start the video out by sharing with you what the video is going to be about. Then we start the video. I usually share an experience that I've had to relate to the experience that I'm talking about, you know, so that way, like if I'm talking about Xanax withdrawal, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you guys how I went through Xanax withdrawal, which honestly was horrible, because I was in treatment and the treatment center ripped me off cold turkey. Bastards. They ripped me off cold turkey because my ass was smuggling Xanax bars into the 30-day residential treatment program like an idiot. That was my fault. That's why I got cut off cold turkey, because I was being scandalous. She's so scandalous. That's right. I was scandalous as hell back then. What had happened was my husband was picking me up for our court dates. So I had just had my son taken away from me. I had just graduated detox. Okay, so I detoxed off everything, and I was in residential treatment. Well, the first week I got there, my husband had to come check me out so we could go to family court for CPS. So when he checked me out, I could tell that he was on Xanax, little bastard. And so I said, give me some, motherfucker. And so he did. Well, I was testing positive for benzos when I got there, because for me, benzos stay in my system a long time, because first of all, because I take so many. Second of all, because I'm a little bit heavier. And so that's how benzos are. They will stay in your system like weed will. So when I was in treatment, I actually didn't stop testing positive for benzos for about 45 days. 45 days it took before benzos got out of my system. And I know a lot of people be like, no, wait. Yep, wait. If you've ever really, really taken benzos, like taking them hardcore, then you'll know this. You know, you'll know that they take a while to get out of your system. But they kept drug testing me when I would come back from court, and I kept failing for benzos. And they knew I was going to have them in my system, but something just didn't seem right because I was fucked up when I came in. You know, they could tell I was fucked up. So they started drug testing me and checking my levels to see if they were going down, and they weren't. Then my husband, bless his heart, was he was sneaking me Xanax and leaving them at the treatment center. So we were at a meeting, an outside meeting. It was a Friday night, and I had called my husband and said, hey, bring me some bars, leave them on the leave them by the rock in the front yard in a paper bag, right? And so he was like, okay. So we're coming back from the meeting, and I'm nervous. I'm shaking, right? I'm shaking because I just know that, you know, they're going to be there. And so I'm kind of nervous, and then I'm kind of scared that I'm going to get caught. And so we pull up, and guess who is pulling out? Neil. And they knew right then that I was fucking scandalous ass was up to something. And so the boys in the van popped out of the van real fast and ran to where my husband was at, getting in his truck. He had already left, of course. And that's when they found the bag of Xanax. And I was fucking done for, dude. Because they ran to tell the teacher right away, you know, to tell the counselors right away. And so I almost got kicked out. Luckily, they gave me a second chance, you know, because I was going to lose my son if they didn't. And so they gave me another chance, and I straightened my act out. But, honey, that was scary, 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 because I didn't really realize how serious the situation was. You know, I was fucked up. So, hey, Courtney, what's up, girl? I was fucked up, you know, and I had been getting high for so many years that was just my, you know, MO. Me and my husband were highly codependent on each other. You know, everything we did together. And so we thought, you know, that we could get over on the system and get by with that shit, you know, somehow. But, honey, when I tell you this, you can't get by. If you are going to lose custody of your children, don't try to get by, okay? Don't be stupid like I was, all right? Because I almost lost custody of my son forever, you know, because of my dumb ass fucking decisions with trying to get drugs in the treatment center. So, and they told me and my husband, they were like, you know, we could press charges on your husband, you know, and get him taken to jail because of that. Like, it was serious. Oh, yeah, it's pretty. Oh, honey, this is a palette that I've made. I'll show you in just a second. But these are the most beautiful shimmers that you'll ever see in your whole entire life. And you need to get them ASAP because they are seriously so beautiful. And if you can't tell, I'm doing like a yellowish into green. Hey, Taylor, what's up, babe? A yellowish color into a green color. These shimmers are fucking bar none, dude. You can't find prettier fucking duochrome shimmers. Like, I have been peeping these shimmers for about a year, and I finally caved and fucking ordered them. And they're like, they're stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. So they're called Cleona Cosmetics, and they're an indie brand out of Canada. And these shimmers, they're not cheap, okay? So some of them are like $7, some of them are $12, and some of them are $19 a piece, okay? The ones that are $19 a piece are like ones that shift from multiple colors. So I understand they're a lot of money because they shift a bunch of different colors. The different ways you turn your head. Okay, so let's do, so I got that. Now we're going to take, I've got glitter all over my nose. I can see it. Oh. Okay, now we're going to take a deeper brown in my shirt. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. They're stunning motherfucking pretty ass colors. Everybody always asks me what I'm wearing. Everybody on TikTok knows me for my eyeshadows. So, well, I'm half Mexican, honey. That's why I'm so tan. My mom's Mexican and my dad's Italian. So I'm tan on both sides. You know? I was destined to be brown. I remember when I was a little girl, you guys, and I was going to school for the first time at Lake Hamilton, which is like my school that I went to until I graduated. But it was super, super duper like white. All the people there were white. There's like 2 black kids in our whole class and like 2 Mexican kids. You know what I mean? And I remember when I first started going there, and the kids would call me taco and burrito, and I would cry my eyes out because I just didn't understand, you know, what was wrong, why people were saying that. Well, then I remember my mom pulling me to the side and going, honey, in a couple of years, everybody in that school is going to be paying to be the color you are. And, you know, when you're fucking 5 years old, you don't understand. And I'm like, okay, Mom, whatever. You're just saying that because you're my mom. And I just try to go on about my business. And she wasn't lying, dude. By the time I hit 8th grade, every girl I knew was going to the tanning bed. Every girl I knew. So, Mom was right. She was right. You know, in country towns, y'all, in like southern towns, back in the day, you know, they made fun of people who were not just straight up white. Now, it's not so bad. You guys are so lucky that are in the younger generation now. Y'all are lucky because it's just so much more acceptable now. Just like being gay is okay now. Like, there's just so much more acceptance for people that are different, you know? It didn't used to be like that. Didn't used to be like that. It used to be really scary to be, you know, different than people. Especially in, you know, a southern town. Southern states are very behind, okay? We have a city called Harrison, Arkansas, where the Ku Klux Klan still operates, you guys. For God's sakes. If that tells you anything, okay? That's how it is over here in Arkansas. The Ku Klux Klan is still alive. Fucking crazy fuckers. Okay. There's that. Every time we drive to, I think it's Eureka Springs, we pass through Harrison. They actually had a billboard up about something about being white. That's how crazy it is, okay? So look it up online, Harrison, Arkansas. You'll see what I'm talking about. Ooh, yeah, baby. Look at that green. That's a pop of color. Okay, now let's get this damn glitter off my face because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. You'll see, in Texas, it's like cowboys and Mexicans everywhere. Mexicans and cowboys. In northern Arkansas, it's the same way with a lot of Mexicans because we have chicken plants up there, and the Mexicans work in the chicken plants. Like Tyson chicken plant. Okay, there we go. Very good, Nicole. Very good. You'll see it's a lot different than being in the northern part of the United States. You're gonna be surprised. You might not like it, because it's very, very different. North is a lot different than the South. Up north, people are not nice to each other. They're not polite. They don't hold the door open for you. In southern states, everybody says hi to you as you're walking by. People open the door for you. People say, excuse me. Up in the north, it's like everybody's just in such a rush, How do I know this? Because I was born in New York. And that's where my dad's from. My mom's from California. So that's how I know that. Now, of course, I'm sure there's an exception to the rule with some people, but for the most part, people in the north are just go, 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 Okay. All right. I haven't used this highlighter in a while, so let's see. It's a Becca highlighter. I think it's Moonstone or something like that, or Opal. Where are my damn there it is. Yeah, the South, a lot of Northerners come to the South, to retire. I know because my mom and dad, they live in the Village, which is a retirement community here in Arkansas, and a lot of people from New York and other, northern states move to the Village because it's a gated community, and they have like their own shit. They have their own gas stations, their own golf courses, their own lakes, everything is different up there, and it's like special for them. Okay, so let me see how this blended. Hold on just a second, guys. So I think this looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good, huh, y'all? Let me see, where's that brush? See if I can blend that a little bit. Yeah, okay, good deal. Now I need to get mascara on. This is what I do. I work from home and I watch true crime while I'm working. Yeah! True crime, baby! Okay. I've been watching Adventures with Purpose lately, which is these guys who they dive underwater to find people's lost loved ones. And you guys, if you're not watching them on YouTube, you need to fucking get busy and watch them. They're awesome. It is so awesome. So awesome. Like, I probably watched like 50 videos yesterday of them pulling cars out of the water with people's human remains in them. Like, they find people that have been missing for like 20 years. So let me tell you this one story. This one lady, her name was Samantha Hopper, and she had 2 daughters, a 3-year-old, a 22-month-old, and she was pregnant. And she came to her mom and she said, "Mom, me and so are going to a concert. Will you watch the girls?" And her mom said, "I can only watch one." So she was like, okay. So she left her oldest with her mom. Her oldest daughter was Desiree. Okay. And then she went to meet up with her baby's daddy and leave her kid, the other kid, with her baby's father. Well, on the way back from the concert, she drove off into the lake. I don't know if she was drunk. I don't know if she just fell asleep at the wheel, but it was in Arkansas too, y'all. It was in like Russellville, Arkansas. So she was driving, and there's like this long strip where they have rocks on the side, and then that goes down into the water. And so she was driving, and her car went off into the water. Well, she's been missing for 23 years, okay? 23 years. Her daughter is now an adult, and doesn't even remember her. She only remembers her mom by pictures. So they called Adventures with Purpose because, they were like, here in Arkansas and a lot of states don't have like the resources to just be out there diving and searching in the water all the time for people. Like they can find people that are, let's say, like if it's somebody that they're rescuing that's drowning in the water, but like somebody that's already been dead and is missing there, like they don't have the resources to just go around checking every waterway, And so, Adventures with Purpose, they actually go around like looking up cold cases, and they find out what bodies of water are within a 5-mile radius of the person's home or wherever they were last seen. And then they go in and they check these waterways that are, close to where they lived or where they were last seen. Dude, they have literally solved cold cases that have been closed for like years. So anyways, they find the car of Samantha. Samantha Hopper was her name. They find her car, and where they're recovering it. Okay, they're pulling it up on this crane, and one of the main guys is, looking in the front of the car. He's down there in a boat, and he reaches in and he has a shoe. He finds a shoe. Okay, then he reaches in again and he finds a shoe with a sock attached. So he picks up that with the sock and the shoe, and inside the sock were human remains, the bones of the foot. And so that's how they were able to find out that it was her in her car, that she actually did perish with the vehicle. And so what I have learned from watching this show is that if you crash into the water, in the first minute, you got to get out. Okay, you got to get the fuck out. All right, the first minute that you hit the fucking water, you have to roll down the window and get the fuck out right away. Okay, because if you roll down, you got to roll down your windows no matter what. They need to be rolled down. Okay, but if you wait until you sink underneath water, or you wait till the water starts coming in, it's hard to get out against the water, right? So you got to get out when you first hit. And then if you have like a kid or something that's in there, you need to dive down in there and get them out, or get them out first and then get yourself out. But it's really important to get out within the first minute of you hitting the water. So on the title, it said 22-month-old missing. So yes, I think she had went and got her daughter back from her baby's father, and that's when she crashed, or something like that, because it said that the 22-month-old was missing too. And what's so sad about it is that she was pregnant also. And so, oh my God, dude, honestly, I'm sitting here like getting chills up and down my spine, thinking about being a mother and hitting the water, hearing your child screaming, you're scared, you're nervous. Like the minute you know that you're crashing and you're going into a waterway, you got to slam back, grab your kid, unbuckle them, grab them, pull them to the front, hold them tight to your chest, and fucking get out of there. You know what I mean? As fast as you can. Now, your baby's probably going to be choking and stuff, but at least you have them with you, and you can get them up above air, get them above the water, and get them out of there, That's why whenever I drive over like bridges or anything like that, I'm super careful. And I'm also like, don't go out and drive in the ice, because I'm not good at it. So then there was this other case of this guy named Antonio. Okay, so Antonio, he was Mexican guy, super cute Mexican little man, probably like in his 50s, and he had 3 daughters, a wife, and it had iced in Oregon. And up there in Oregon, they get a lot of weather that's like that, so I'm sure he had been used to driving in the inclement weather, So he insisted that he needed to go to work. So he went ahead and he took off to go to work. Well, he never came home. And they had eyewitness reports that he had careened off of the side of the bridge into the water. I think it's like the Columbia River or something like that. Super big river, really deep, and just currents and all that stuff. So they call in Adventures with Purpose because it's only been 3 days since he went missing. So they call in Adventures with Purpose. Adventures with Purpose comes, and they are lining up, and like they're out there in the boat, they're looking at the bridge, they're looking at the water, and they're lining up right where he drove off, and they're calculating like how many feet out the car would go. Because what I've also learned from watching Adventures with Purpose is that when a car goes into the water, it starts sinking. Once it hits the bottom, it rests there, and it kind of cements in there, so it won't go far from where it entered the water. Like they usually say, like if a car comes off of a boat ramp and drives into the water, it might be like 35 to 40 feet out, so they settle at the bottom like a turtle is what he says. And so they get in the water and they start, diving or start driving around, and they have the sonar equipment that scans the bottom of the water, and it literally scans in live time, so you can see fish going by, and it also scans like side by side, up and down, in front of you, all that. Well, they're not even in there like 20 minutes, and they scan, and there's the car. Okay, there's the car. So just think about that. There's a dead person in the car down below that's only been there for 3 days. That's fresh, dude. That's fresh, okay? So they get their diving gear on, and they dive down there, and they get the license plate, and then they look in the windows. They look in the windows, and so they know that he is in there, that he's in there, and that they see him in there, And so they pull the car up, and a lot of the times what will happen is like the sheriff's department and shit like that, in a lot of these states, they get jealous or they get mad because they feel like Adventures with Purpose is coming in and stepping on their toes. But the dudes are just like, they don't have to go by state rules, so they can just do their investigation the way they want to. And so that's why they're able to do a lot better, than the regular police divers. So anyway, they've called the family and they let them know, they found the vehicle, and that their dad is really in there. And they were like sad, of course, but they were also happy that they get to put their dad to rest. They get to have a funeral or cremate their dad. So that was really cool. Let me tell you one more case, okay? One more. All right, so this kid was probably like 17, I think, and he had a girlfriend. Hey, hello, kitty, I'm fine. He had a girlfriend, and him and his mom had went and picked up his sister, and then his sister had to go to work, and they all shared this car. But the son, okay, he had to be 17 or 16 because he didn't have his driver's license yet. The son couldn't drive on his own. He had to drive with a parent, right? Well, after dropping the sister off at work, they're on their way home, and the son is like, Mom, you only have 36 miles until you have empty tank. And his mom's like, it's not a big deal. We'll get it tomorrow on the way to school. When we take your sister to school. And he's like, okay. Well, then he says something about it again. She's like, don't worry about it. We will make sure that we get it done tomorrow. So no big deal, right? So they get home, and the mom has cancer, okay? So they get home, and they're chilling out, and he goes into his room and is hanging out, and his mom went to go check on him a little while later, and he was laying in the bed, and she thought he was asleep, so she shut off the lights, right? Good night, son. Well, he wasn't asleep. He was on Facebook Messenger with his girlfriend, and right after that, he had obviously got in a message from his girlfriend, and she broke up with him on Facebook Messenger, okay? Well, apparently he got up after she broke up with him, and he went and he got his mom's car and a rifle from his mom's room or somewhere like that, and took off in the car. But the mom's asleep. She doesn't know, right? So the next morning, mom goes to wake up, and sister's there. I guess she got a ride home from somebody, and she's like, Mom, where's your car? And she's like, outside. And she's like, no, it's not. She's like, it has to be. And so she goes to check on her son. Her son's not there. She looks out the window. Hey, Olivia. And the car's gone. She immediately calls 911 and lets them know what's happening, and they go searching everywhere. Back roads, his favorite spot where he liked to go look at the river, everywhere. And they're looking, of course, for his car, the car, right? and they don't find it. Well, the mother has been contacting law enforcement and telling law enforcement, hey, you need to go check the river. That was my son's favorite spot to go. And law enforcement just isn't doing it, right? Maybe they don't have the manpower or whatever. So they call Adventures with Purpose because they follow them on YouTube. They call Adventures with Purpose, and they come down there. They get their boats in the water, and not even 15 minutes on being on the water, they find the car. They find the car. Now, it's been like 7 or 8 months since he went missing. And they go down to the window. They look inside, and they confirm that the kid is in there. So fucking sad. And then, they come up and they let the mom know that he's in there. And they have to call the police because the police don't want them just getting the car out without them. And so they call the police, and the police are upset because, of course, it makes them look bad because Adventures with Purpose just jumps in and finds them on the first go, But they call them, and they end up removing the vehicle from the water, and, they see him in there. So sad. And he either shot himself and drove into the water or something like that. But he was just a kid, 16, 17 years old. And his girlfriend broke up with him, and he just couldn't handle it. That's sad. I worry about that kind of stuff all the time. That's probably one of my biggest fears is, my son struggling like that. Hey, what's up, girl? What are you doing? Okay, guys, we got to go get Nate. Well, school don't end till 2:35. I usually get there a little bit early. So I'm obsessed. Needless to say, I'm obsessed with watching their channel, Adventures with Purpose. It's so good. And it made me realize, how many people drown in waterways, take their lives by going into the water in their vehicles. Whether it's suicide or accidental, it happens a lot more than you would ever assume it does, So, okay, guys. I'll be live on Facebook later on. I'm going to go pick Nate up. What time is it? 2:11. So I'll probably go live on Facebook at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Then I'll be back around here about 7 Central. So if y'all want to come hang out then. I'm reaching out to some people to get them to come tell their stories. I also messaged Leah Kane, the girl who has the channel that says Hope Diller. I reached out to her because she was going to get some of these eyeshadows, and I was like, hey, what if we did a live stream where we talk about pregnancy and addiction, and we both do our makeup at the same time? So it could be her and me on a live here on TikTok talking about addiction and pregnancy because we both were pregnant and addicted while we do a fucking fresh-ass glittery eyeshadow look. Would y'all like that? I think that would be really, really fun. And cool. So I think we're going to do that. I know y'all will like that. Y'all like makeup. I know y'all like watching when I do my makeup. So yeah, so we'll have a whole squad of people who struggled with addiction and pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And I've been sharing a lot more about it here on TikTok. And just so y'all know, I'm not proud of that. I'm not trying to get sympathy from anybody or anything like that. I'm just trying to share my experience because I know there's a lot of women who struggle with that and they were really ashamed, and they don't have anybody to talk to or look at and kind of look up to. So I try to share about that so that way, other people that have experienced that know that they're not alone. And then other people who are addicted can reach out and get help. Hey, Cindy, good job. Yeah, getting off benzos is hard. I know. I understand. Believe me. I have a lot of people that reach out to me, too, who are getting off Klonopins and Xanax and shit, and it's difficult. So take your time. Be easy. Don't rush it. You know, just take your time and try to relax, because ain't no reason in rushing, you know. I did a good job. I got all that clutter stuff out of the house and up here in the front so I can take it to the Goodwill. But whew. Okay. I'm about to get off here, I think. I don't know. I might put y'all down there and see if I can't ride with y'all. I know how TikTok is. I don't know about y'all, but they always take my videos down when I go live in the car. Do they do that to you guys? What kind of birthday? Your sobriety birthday or your belly button birthday? Yeah, I got a sweat rag. What? Because I sweat a lot. So I keep this thing. Because see, I have this holder that holds my phone while I go. But every time I've done this, I've gotten banned. Maybe if I turn it around, y'all can see. Oh, my window is dirty. We'll see what happens. Hey, what's up, Gypsy? How you doing, girl? I'll take you for a ride through Arkansas. You think it's okay if y'all are facing that way? I think it is. This is it's not a long ride to my son's school either. You'll see. It's awesome. That's another reason why I didn't want to move out of my neighborhood yet, because we're close to Nate's school, you know. So you see where I live? Tara, my best friend who called CPS on me, literally lives 2 streets over from me in these apartments. They're nice-ass apartments, but she literally lives right down the street from me. I know a lot of you guys have asked me, like, are we still friends and shit? And we don't hang out, but I have extended my hand to help her, you know what I'm saying? If she wants to get sober, I have offered to help her get sober, you know? Yeah, it's a quiet neighborhood off the main stretch. Yeah, totally. I've offered to help her, you know, and the thing about my friend is she likes to lie a lot, and so I can't ever get the truth out of her. You know, I'll ask her, like, if she's sober, and she'll tell me yes, but I know her like the back of my hand, and that usually isn't the truth, you know? So I have to just keep her at arm's length, but she's right down the street from me. In a minute, I'm Anita, sentimental, man or woman. But a lot of people, you know, ask me if I got sober in the same spot that I live in, and I did. I actually used to live in Hot Springs, which is about 45 minutes away from Little Rock. Now I live in Little Rock, the capital of Arkansas. And when I lived in Hot Springs, it was a fucking dark hole, dude. Like, Hot Springs, I had to get out of Hot Springs. Even though I relapsed when I got here to Little Rock, Hot Springs is just everybody there, and you can ask anybody that lives in Hot Springs. Everybody there is addicted to methamphetamine or has some kind of connection to methamphetamine, like one of their family members are addicted to it or whatever. And so I had to get out of there. And I got out of there and I moved here after getting out of prison. I called my parole officer and I was like, hey, can I parole out to my mom and dad's house? And my parole officer was like, absolutely not. You cannot go back to Hot Springs. And so I was like, oh shit, where am I going to go? Because the only family I have lives in Hot Springs. And so my parole officer was like, anywhere by here, honey. And so I paroled here to Little Rock, which has so much more jobs and opportunities. And, well, I mean, it's the city, it's the capital, you know? And so I moved here, and you got to understand something. I had never drove on like four road highways, like where there's 4 different lanes. I had 6 lanes and shit like that. I had never drove on that shit before. And that's what we have here in Little Rock, is like, you know, the highways and all that stuff. And so it was so scary when I started driving here, because I just didn't know. Well, I didn't know how to. I still refuse to go on the motherfucking highway. After living here for since 2010, I still refuse to go. I mean, if I have to, because it's the only way I can make it work. But if it's at night, hell no, it ain't happening, because I can't see at night. Okay, this is the school. I mean, the church that is by my son's school. So I always park in this parking lot, and then I walk up from back to get him. Because if I try to drive my car and pick him up through the car rider line, he gets scared that I ain't going to show up. So, and listen to me, you guys. Sorry. Oh, my bad. I have never, ever, what the hell, not picked my son up, okay? Like, ever. And he just acts like I've misplaced him or something. Never in my life have I done that. So I walk up to go get him, so that way he knows that I'm here right away when he steps out of the door. You know, so. Oh, Nate is 8. He just turned 8 in July. July 4th is his birthday. So he's in the 3rd grade. He could have been in the 2nd grade because he started school. He was like on the cusp, you know, so all of his friends are 9 and he's 8. And he always says that to me. All my friends are 9 and they're in 3rd grade. Why am I not 9? And I'm like, well, because you started school when you were 5 instead of 6. That's why. So. But I drop him off in the car rider line. Every morning, he likes to be early because he don't like to miss his recess. So every morning, we wake up at 6. I make him some breakfast, usually like some peanut butter toast with milk, sausage biscuit, eggs, or something like that. And then he eats that, watches his favorite shows. Then I lay out his outfits. He gets dressed, brushes his teeth. Then I let him play on the computer until it's time to go. And then we leave about 7:15, 7:20, because his recess starts at 7:50. But he likes to be early so he can sit outside his class and talk to all of his friends. So he's very particular about that kind of stuff. So I make sure that I, take care of that for him so he can actually socialize with his people. Now this year I got to get him into some kind of extracurricular activity. I haven't had him in any extracurriculars. One, because he's scared. He was really nervous and scared to be away from me and his dad for a long, long time. And so, he just now started stepping out of that comfort zone and like being okay with like going to his friends' birthday parties and us dropping him off. Or he spent the night with his friend Brooks once and made it through the night. I mean, he tried many times, but he wouldn't make it through the night. He'd end up calling us around 11 or 12 to come get him. But he finally was able to do that. So now we're like, okay, I think I can put him in like karate or soccer or something like that. But anyway, I got to get off here, you guys, because I got to tell the people the number, my son's number, so they could call him. But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys when I get home. And I'll do my live stream is going to happen on Facebook at 4 p.m. and then on TikTok at 7 p.m. Central. Okay? All right. Love you guys.